Where should I put it? Okay, my name is Patryk. I'm one of the IoT guys. I used to be an engineer. I co-founded several IoT companies. One was a service business. One was an actual startup. It was called Człowieku. And through this startup, I had a chance to go through the entire journey of building an IoT company. So from the idea, from exactly zero money in my pocket, with the first round of funding, some grants, some loans from PARP, then another round of VC funding. I traveled through the west and east coast of the US, and eventually we found a business case in the fintech industry in the UK. We did some interesting larger enterprise sales over there, but the whole business eventually collapsed from a number of various reasons. One of them was cash flow, and one of them was that the product wasn't really ready. It always had some bugs and some issues. Then after this Człowieku business, I decided to change my focus a little bit, so I entered a corporate world. So I began my journey as a sales guy in the IoT business, selling larger projects to really big tech companies around Europe. And after 2 years, I quit, and I decided to go back to the startup business, but from the totally different angle. So these days, I'm connected more or less to the companies, businesses listed below. And what they have in common is all of them represent some capital or investments, and all of them are in some ways interested in IoT startups and generally deep tech or hard tech companies at very early stage, even before company formation. And I was wondering, well, this is the IoT startup, but actually I'm so tired of technologies, and I thought that maybe there is something more fundamental these days to talk about. And the thing is that the thing on the right, the human itself, is missing in most presentations of startups and corporate companies I usually see. I mean, we tend to forget about who start businesses, who bring the app to the table. We forget that the human is a major component in every single process, in every single stage of the business. And there's this guy called Kahneman, I noticed, and he brought this theory that each one of us is more left-brained or right-brained. So people who are more left-brained are logical, they're very high analytic skills, they're mathematicians, like physicists, R&D guys mainly. And on the right side, we got people who have, let's say, more empathy. They're creators, they're artists, they're designers, they bring great visions, and they love to talk with other people. So there is this 1D diagram, and each single one of us is some more on the left or more on the right. But there is more into that. If we expand this 1D model into 2D, we can put probably all of you in this room somewhere on this square. So just a little focus for an overview. I'll try to explain how it works. Like, just listen and see if you can relate to any of these pictures. Like on the top, we got people who are kind of visionary creators. They make decisions instantly. They make decisions intuitively. They just envision systems, the whole products immediately. Then when you go to the right, more into the hard side, then you got people who they're like brands, walking brands. They create brands, like Oprah Winfrey would be a good example here. Then more to the right, people who love other people. When they buy stuff, they usually ask friends for advice. And then once you go to the bottom, here are the more grounded guys who love other people, and they're excellent video makers. Then I go to the bottom, and here are the people who usually, when I talk to them, they usually use the word when. My accountant is there, and my ex-wife as well. It's like, they ask, when this will be ready? Or what is the schedule? Or why aren't we according to the plans? When? They feel that very well. And on the left, we got all the mathematicians, physicists, R&D people, tech people, and majority of the startups. Unfortunately, the money is also here, and corporate VCs and like real VC capitalists are there, and that's the reason. Just keep in mind that's the reason why when you go to a VC and you bring this great idea and you talk about your vision, they ask you, okay, can you bring us a spreadsheet? That is because they're on the left. Now, majority of the startups fail, right? And I just googled some reasons. There are top 5, top 10 reasons why startups fail. And try to build analogy to this square. The major reason is that there is no sales. Like most of the energy goes into technology and product development. And I tried to map that out. And the thing is that, okay, I call it a software house model. So there's a software house, for instance. There's some free cash and some people, some engineers working on the bench. Let them build a startup. So they build a great product. So the guys sit here, the scientists, some software guys, there is money on the table. There's also a product there and some designers. So the app looks really well. It's really well built, but nothing really happens. Why? Because the rest is missing. So none of these guys ever went out of the office and talked to customers. Now, another example, NCN or NCDR, like public grant funded stuff. Kind of similar story. So there's some product design, some research, something happens. It's very well documented here. So paperwork was done, great documentation, but no one ever seen the result because there was no designer. No one could really show that. There was just a paper. Second reason is lack of focus. And maybe that's even more important one. I believe that every company needs a visionary, someone who will lead and show the way. The visionaries they're lovely people, they're very smart folks, and they're amazing. But the problem with them is that they wake up and they have this vision, we go there. And next day they wake up and they have new vision, let's go there. And this vision is just flip-flopping every single day. And the way to address that is that they should actually connect with someone here at the bottom, like accountants. Maybe it's not the best example, but someone who feels paperwork very well, someone who feels time, someone who feels the schedule, and once they work together, that will make miracles. But this will work only when they find the middle. If they set it right, like the words that connect them, the real reason why they work together. And I'm not talking about like company statement presented on the website, just artificially made up by someone. I'm talking about what's really in your heart. So you put everything what you have in your heart on the table, and you agree on what's common. And once you set it up, not only the guy on the top and the guy on the bottom, but everyone in the company, at least at this very, very early stage, that the train will drive just automatically and stuff will solve themselves out, just like that. And so how to address that, this rectangle, the square, in the startup world? Well, I believe that a pre-leg stall is a solution. There is kind of simple but stable structure. So just have a look. I draw a triangle inside and put some random angle in Keynote. I thought that maybe this one will work. So let's imagine a story. There is this software developer, and he's a very good guy. He spends like a few months working on some app, and he's very detail focused, and he's obsessed on optimization at the database level. Okay, and the app is great at this very, very technical level, but it looks nasty. I mean, it's just horrible when you look at it. So he connects to a guy who is the UI designer, a designer. So the UI is great, user experience of the app, it's marvelous. And he also builds a brand around it. And now suddenly, there's some traction, they are able to bring some attraction to the product. And suddenly, the third guy comes. Let's imagine a 50+ years old guy who succeeded in a few businesses, bought some properties in our cities, and is basically bored. I would love to join two young startuppers to help them out, and he's able, through his network, through his contacts, through his psyche, he brings 3 customers within, let's say, 3 months, like 3 biggest Polish banks to run pilots. Makes sense? Yes or yes? For me, sure, it works. Now, since the event is about IoT, so maybe one key thing I believe, well, I went through personally. There is this phrase, release early, release often, and I believe that comes from the software world. So there's this belief that once we build something, we should go out to customers, collect feedback, and reiterate, and then again go to customers, get feedback, and have those loops. And the thing is that with the hardware, it just doesn't work. I mean, hardware is more like a binary game. When you build a hardware, it's a very linear process. So you do some research, you start sketching, drafting, and then you decide to design electronics, you decide on components, you design the layout, then you design the mechanical aspects of your device, then you write the software, it's embedded part of software, you ensure the connectivity works, then you go through certifications, including environmental testing, electrical compatibility testing, then you build another device to test that your product, it's called automatic testing for manufacturing. Then you contract a manufacturing company, then you contract another company who can put your device in the box. You also design a instruction manual, a user guide, and then finally you start manufacturing. And that takes a year, maybe less, maybe more, depends on the product complexity. The point is, if you iterate, if you just flip-flop every month and change your target market in the hardware startup, you will fail. Just prepare for failure, as I did, a couple of times. I might be one of the persons in this room with the largest amount of scars on my back because of that kind of mistakes I did in test. That requires funding, maybe $500,000, maybe $1 million, maybe less, maybe more, I don't know, depends on the product. But the thing is, prepare for failure, and please realize that it can't be done in 1 day, it can be done in a month. You can't just set up some Raspberry Pi, show it up, and oh, this is our product. No. It just takes time, it takes resources. Okay, and just one thing at the end. At my first slide, my name, picture, I mentioned that I'm connected to companies that have some financial resources and help build startups. So actually we're building something like incubator, accelerator, maybe smart VC, something like this, call it however you want. The thing is that we're looking for teams with something highly technical, can be IoT, but could be also nanomaterials, whatever, highly technical, and we establish companies together with them. It's not advisory, it's not consulting, we do that operationally. So we put sales guys in, we put marketing guys in, we put money in, and just make the whole business flow according to the square I presented a few slides ago. So if you feel invited to this new creation, if you want to be a part of it in any way, so yeah, please welcome. Thank you.